the program was really career changing for me, to be honest. I went into the program, thinking I would progressively build a board career over time. And through doing the program, it made me realize that I really loved doing the board work. And I actually, if I really wanted to do a board career, then I was going to have to invest a lot of time to actually make it happen. And so I really made the decision. The program actually led me to directly making the decision to resign from my partner role at William Buck to try and build a full-time non-executive director career. I was also very lucky because the program led to me directly getting my first ASX role. That's because Dan Lisker, who runs the program, had been out there actively networking with a lot of the investor community. And one of those investors then approached Dan saying that he was looking for someone who could chair audit and risk. And did Dan know any names? And I was lucky to be put on that list. And that led to me ultimately getting my first ASX role with Bike Exchange. Our Bike Exchange role came out directly as a consequence of my WOBSX program. My Pureprofile role actually came about because I met another director on that board who then put me forward to the Pureprofile role. And in relation to the Nuchev role, that came about, that didn't come about through networks per se, it came about through an agent. But I think in terms of having already had the ASX experience was definitely a plus. And, the learnings from the WOBSX program about, being clear about your value proposition and how you can add value to the board. And also being able to bring in the stories of what you've done on the board you've joined to date was really helpful. I've done board mentoring programs before, and I actually hadn't got that much out of them. So I was a little bit sitting on the fence in relation to do the WOBSX program, but I had met Dan and I'd seen some of the other women who'd done the program, and I'd seen that they'd been very successful. So I was intrigued. At the time I started WOBSX, I was thinking that would be something that I would do in terms of full-time board career down the track. So I also saw it partly as an opportunity to build my networks to help me with my executive career. But as it turned out, I loved the program so much, and it made me really realize that's what I wanted to do, was a full-time board career. So so I'm very glad that I did the program, that's for sure. Yeah. First thing that I really wasn't expecting when I did the program was really basically the relationships you build with the other women that do the program. Originally I was thinking I'd go in and I'd do the learnings for that and build a relationship with my mentor, which I did. But also, it was the other 12 women that were doing the program that, incredibly supportive of each other. And then I subsequently went on and did the board encounters program and met another group of great women. And similarly now, there's just broader networking amongst, I think there's now about 170 women as part of the whole WOBSX network. And, I'm progressively building, those relationships, and everyone is, incredibly supportive and willing to help, and will share opportunities and ideas with you. And if, people are going for roles, they'll often introduce someone in their network who might be able to help position them to adapt their interview style to or knowledge for that particular opportunity. So it's, I think, really valuable network to be part of. The second thing is that it really pushed me outside my comfort zone. They made it very clear during the WOBSX program that to be successful in building a board career, you really had to go out there and network, and really got me doing things that I never thought I would do. So, for example, going to my existing network and asking for introductions to people that they knew who were on boards, and then arranging meetings with those people. I was even reaching out to some of the women who'd been very successful through the WOBSX program, and reaching out to them cold, just to arrange sort of 15-minute online meetings just to get some of their tips and journeys. And I was really always very impressed with how, everyone was willing to help, and really have built some great relationships out of doing that. So that was something, I would never have thought at the beginning of the program I would have seen myself doing. So the top three learnings, I guess the first thing and the messaging that I was getting consistently from everyone I reached out to is that building a board career is a marathon, not a race. You know, one of a very senior director said to me, it is really about going out there, planting lots of seeds, watering them regularly, and then eventually something will grow. The other thing is in relation to the importance of sort of doing targeted networking. So for me, like every board's got a chair of audit and risk. And so I worked out that probably the best way for me to network is to go to other chairs of audit and risk, because the more experienced ones and the good ones often get approached regularly for roles, and they then are often knocking back roles. But sometimes I will say to the recruiter, if they're approached or whoever's approached them, maybe you should, you know, contact X, Y, and Z. And so through that process, I've actually been added into a number of processes that I wouldn't have otherwise been, just from having been connected to those networks. And similarly, I've seen other people do that very successfully with their industry networks. So they're, you know, if you're trying to build up a particular niche in industry, or already known in an industry, then networking with other ASX directors in that network, for example, can open up opportunities. So that targeted networking approach has been really relevant. And the third thing is it really helped me learn how to refine my value proposition a little bit, because I must admit, when I probably first started with the WOBSX program, I'd just be saying what I'd done in my day job all the time, and that wasn't really necessarily relate to people in terms of how they'd see you operating on a board. So being able to really, you know, translate, you know, the transferable skills that you gained from your executive career and how they would apply to a board. So it's been, you know, life-changing in many ways. It's definitely career-changing, as I said. It really helped me to work out what I wanted to do. I also think that it's helped me to grow as a person, you know, meeting lots of great people and, you know, as I said, pushing me outside my comfort zone. It's also, to be honest, helped me build up quite a bit of resilience, because, you know, there's no doubt about it, you're continually going for roles and often getting knocked back. And so, you know, it's that, you know, resilience to just, you know, keep going. So, and you know, eventually sometimes you miss out on roles and things happen down the track and you think, thank heavens I missed out on that role. So, but yeah, so it is just a case of, you know, persisting. I would say if you're serious about building a board career, then I would strongly recommend the program. It really, as I said before, will help you refine your value proposition, and it will help you, you know, find a way into the networks that you basically need to be successful to build that career. But I'd also say it's not a magic bullet. Don't do it if you're just going to turn up, attend the sessions and not be prepared to do anything differently. You really have to be able to put like anything in life, it's the more you put into something, the more you get out of it. So you have to be willing to sign up and basically do the steps that they tell you to do if you really want to build a board career.